I went to Camp Hollywood and lost my beard, lost my voice, and I have even less hair. So, what happens at Camp Hollywood? Well, I'm excited to show you. I'm super swung over, my feet hurt, my heart, though. My heart is so full, and I am so excited to show you this episode because Camp Hollywood is my favorite event. But before we do that, I actually got to go to Lindy Groove. So, let's start that journey, and we'll go from there. We're off to Camp Hollywood. This is Daisy. This is Kate.
Yay.
We've got an 8-hour.
We're going to Lindy Groove first.
Yes, we are going to Lindy Groove. First stop, Riscate Coffee. Daisy. And just like that, we are in Pasadena for Lindy Groove. Well, if you are making a trip to Camp Hollywood, you've got to make it a day early and check out the Lindy Groove Camp Hollywood pre-party. Lindy Groove is a very special and a very cherished place to me. It is where I really sunk my teeth into teaching. It's where I got to DJ. It is a place that always puts people first. Vicky and Lance are incredible people, and they are so valued and so important to this scene. So there's a couple Lindy Groove traditions that I've got to show you because they're awesome. The first one actually came about late pandemic when we reopened and just didn't have enough people to hold a night of dancing all the way through to the end. So we started doing steel jams very regularly, and it's just stuck. And then the other tradition that has started since we've gotten this amazing member of our community is the post-credit extravaganza. So started by my friend Andre, and I do them when Andre is absent. We do this line dance, this lead line dance, that is actually originally it is part of Andre's culture. He's originally from Madagascar and does a very similar thing with his family and friends. So he brought it to Lindy Groove, and we do it every week. Post-credit dance, we dance it to non-swing music, and we just boogie. And keep an eye out for Andre, because you'll see him through so much of my footage this weekend. Absolutely rocking it, and there's a special thing at the end regarding Andre.
All right, it is Friday morning. It is Camp Hollywood time. I'm headed over to help load up and then load in at the hotel. We stayed at the Pauldances last night. This is we were hosted by our friend Benny, and yeah, it's time. I'm already sore though. The group was so fun last night.
Okay, so it is Friday evening at Camp Hollywood, and typical Camp Hollywood for me is showing up at Hillary's in the morning and helping load up the vehicle, and then driving over with the truck here and unloading the vehicle, and then throughout the day kind of working to set up. My responsibility that I've had for years is going to Ralph's and picking up a bunch of drinks and snacks and stuff for staff and band members. So got that all done, and now I'm gonna go hang out for a little bit and maybe practice with Jen Lee, who's my classic partner. Let's talk competitions for a little bit, because for me, competitions are a huge part of my Camp Hollywood experience. This year was a little different for me because I have always competed in AM, and honestly, up until last year, that was always my goal. Make it to finals in AM strictly, that's it. And I hit that goal. And I got 4th place in AM Strictly, 3rd place in AM Mix and Match, and 5th place in AM Classic. Now, that didn't mean that I had to move up. The rules at Camp Hollywood are, unless you get 1st place, you can continue competing in AM. But I just felt like after I hit my goal of achieving, getting out there in that Strictly, I was like, what's next? I don't necessarily want a 1st place trophy. I'm not doing it for the trophy. I did it for the experience. And after a couple of weeks of deliberating about that, I decided, you know what? I want to keep going. I want to learn more. And I think the way to motivate myself to learn more the fastest would be to move up, even if I don't belong there yet. So I moved up. Now, moving up to open, people refer to moving up to open as entering into Camp Hollywood purgatory, because you are now competing against the legends that are alive today. If you're doing the Am Mixon match as a lead, you're just donating to the Nick Williams Fund, let's be honest. I'm competing against Nils and Bianca, those sorts of things. So I figured if I'm gonna go dance and open, why not marry up? This is Jen Lee. We're doing classic together, so we're gonna practice for the first time. Let's go.
That's what I'm excited about.
And I proceeded to compete and open, and I had an excellent time. I had a great time. There wasn't a ton of pressure on me, and it was kind of cool. The added bonus, I got a callback in every single category of my dancing this year. And that's enough for me. I wasn't expecting nearly any of that. I mean, maybe I should have been with the caliber of follows that I was dancing with, but yeah. So honestly, being able to dance with Jen Lee and Calvin and being able to like showcase their dancing and partner with them, it was a dream come true.
It is day 2 of Camp Hollywood. I have the sexy day 2 voice because I was the late night manager last night, which means I am the last to bed, even after the Survivors Club. I have to go pick up around the room, make sure all the rooms are locked. But I don't mind doing it. It's just, it makes for a very, very late night.
All right, as a seasoned Camp Hollywood veteran, I have this theory that there are 5 activities available at Camp Hollywood, but you can only take 3. Okay? So, the 5 activities are classes. You can do classes in the mornings, social dancing, competing, sleeping, and partying.
It's enough slices!
All right, it is Sunday morning of Camp Hollywood, and I am very exhausted. I'm heading down Sunday morning. It's 11:15.
So Camp Hollywood is full of a ton of magical moments all throughout the weekend, and I wanted to put together a quick highlight reel of the things that I thought were just the most inspirational, most touching, most amazing. So these are the Camp Hollywood highlights according to Paul. Now, they will start with like general highlights, and then we're gonna get into kind of more of like the shout outs to my friends because I'm so proud of them, but I'll try to give context as much as possible so that you can understand why I am so friggin' proud of so many people this year. So the first up, and it's gotta be mentioned right away, is Albert Alva taking the stage at Camp Hollywood. If you don't know who Albert Alva is, he is a very beloved musician in our swing dance scene, especially in Southern California, a sax player with a Campus 5, and last year he had a stroke that basically gave him partial paralysis, and he wasn't able to play anymore. He was able to take the stage on Sunday at Camp Hollywood, and he was able to solo, and he did a little scatting, and he just had this presence, and there was not a single dry eye in the room. It was so touching. It was so awesome. We're so excited to see the progress that Albert Alva is making, and really probably the highlight of Camp Hollywood.
Just like
Number 2 on my list of highlights has got to be the tribute to Jean Veloz. We lost a very dear member of our community last year, a dancer who danced in Hollywood and performed in Hollywood in the 40s. Jean Veloz was a beautiful, beautiful human with just a charming and such a sweet personality. I got to meet her, just a really wonderful human. But she performed in this movie here, and they recreated it here. But it was a really amazing job by Jeremy, Grace, and Blake, and Hillary, and the entire big band. It was really, really incredible. Highlight number 3 for me is the AM Strictly competition because of how supportive they are of each other. The AM Strictly competition was made up of a bunch of my friends that I competed against last year, and something really magical happened last year that I really want to share and talk about. I sampled it at the very beginning of this video, but all of these competitors, and I think this is going to be just a new regular thing that happens. It's going to be a new tradition at Camp Hollywood. But all the AM competitors for the Strictly huddle together on the song before their competition and jam out and just get pumped and get the nerves out and just celebrate each other and bring the entire group together and say, hey, we're not competing against each other. This is now the time to get out there and celebrate and throw down and entertain, and it is so inspiring and so heartwarming to watch. I'm gonna share a lot of this video because I just think it's so touching and so beautiful. Here is the warm-up before they throw down in the AM Strictly. The AM Strictly overall was just so fun to watch because all of those people up there, last year, I remember them talking about how they were going to raise the level up. They were going to bring it next year. And you know what? They came to play. All right, another highlight for me, and this just encapsulates the silliness and hilarity that can sometimes ensue at Camp Hollywood. During the open Balboa competition, Blake and Alice held a candlestick for the entire all skate. People were rolling. It was so funny. Vasu and Teresa joined them with their little point for a little while, and it was so funny. And like, I'm pretty sure like, they were just trolling. Now, you cannot do a Camp Hollywood highlight reel without including the Open Strictly. Of course, this is the one that goes viral on the internet. This is Nils and Bianca owning, like, it's Nils and Bianca's playground. Everybody else is a guest, really. But everyone came to play, and on a personal note, I was super, super proud of one of my practice and dance partners, Nadia, for being her first time in an open final. Her and Andrew danced together, and I was just like so jazzed that somebody that I've worked with is there at that level and competing and just throwing down. It was so fun. and so cool to watch. It is so hard to find a quiet place to reflect at Camp Hollywood, and so I am here in the hotel room taking a quick break after I changed my shirt. But I wanted to talk about all the feels. What makes Camp Hollywood so special is how much we celebrate each other. Like, oh, it's so good. The band, the music, the fact that we can all get together under one roof and just celebrate and have joy and love for one another. That is Camp Hollywood. Celebrating those around you and lifting up others is what Camp Hollywood is all about. And honestly, I feel like that's what Lindy Hop is all about. And lastly, I think that's what Andre is all about. Yeah, you remember that guy from the beginning of the video? That's Andre, and he was awarded the Golden Budgie, which is the prestigious Spirit Award of Camp Hollywood. And I cannot think of anyone more deserving. Andre is an incredible member of our community. If you ever need anyone in your corner, if you ever need anyone to shout for you in a competition, if you ever need a real nice hug, if you ever need somebody to come up all the way up to the high desert, an hour and a half away, where I used to live, just to hang out and make you dinner, you can ask Andre. He's an incredible friend, and we are very, very lucky to have him in our community. And I was so happy to watch him get this award. I love you, Andre, and we love you.
How you feeling, Andre? It's surreal. How you feeling, Amy? I'm not allowed to curse on your channel. I feel bad. Oh, okay. Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. No, this is wild. This is wild.
Of course, I want to thank Hillary Alexander. I want to thank Jonathan Stout. I want to thank the staff at Camp Hollywood who put this together. Working as staff, I get to see a lot of the behind the scenes, and I get to see that there are so many people that work tirelessly to put these dance events on, and Camp Hollywood is no exception. So next week I am headed to Lindy on the Rocks. I'm super excited to share content and vlogging from there. I want to thank Lindy on the Rocks for actually sponsoring this episode. It's really cool that events are starting to partner with me to get the word out about their events. I love Lindy on the Rocks. There's so many great dancers. The floor is beautiful. The venue is beautiful. The lessons are really awesome. So look out for content from Lindy on the Rocks. I have a link to my Patreon below. If you want to join Patreon, I have subscriptions for literally as low as $1 per month. So with like pocket change you can find in your couch, you can support the channel. Laura and I have been asked to teach on a Lindy Hop cruise, and I am really excited about it. If you want to join the party and maybe take lessons with me, go to the Panama Canal and Costa Rica and the Cayman Islands. If you want to join me on that, there's a link below and I can get you $50 off. For those diehards that have stuck around to the very end, thank you for putting up with my highlight reel and my shout outs and that sort of thing. Camp Hollywood is really special to me, and I hope I was able to show that. But if not, I've got one more sizzle reel for you. Here's some awesomeness from Camp Hollywood, and I will see you in 2 weeks.